All right. So, for all the tech enthusiasts and DevOps dreamers out there, joining us today is Shubham Londhe, the ultimate DevOps and cloud engineering guru. Am I right?
Thank you so much.
So, he's been crushing it for over 8 years in startups and mid-sized companies as a senior staff engineer. And that's not all. I think you're someone with a serious mission to make tech accessible to all, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
And
that's true.
from what we see and what we gather, you've been killing it with your YouTube channel, Train with Shubham, which has over 100K plus subscribers who tune in for no nonsense advice and real world insights.
That's so true. I recently got my play button as well.
Yeah, yes. And add to that, you've got the 75K plus LinkedIn squad, which makes you a bona fide tech rock star in the house.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manny. Thank you.
And by the way, we know that you also got remote work and training down to an art, proving to one and all that to inspire and innovate, all you need is a solid Wi Fi connection, right?
That's so true.
So, for anyone who's watching us out there, if you want to demystify DevOps, conquer the cloud, and just vibe and jam with someone who knows how to make the tech cutting edge and fun, watch Shubham. He'll be dropping some serious knowledge bombs out here. So, thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Shubham. It's been a pleasure having you over. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah.
and as much as we know about you, it would be great if you share your DevOps origin story. How did you end up
Mm.
here? And with over close to a decade experience, what still keeps you passionate in DevOps?
Yeah. So, not just DevOps, I am very passionate about technology as a whole. So, I still remember when I was in college, 2016, 2017, I got my internship. And that internship was in web development. I did not know how the world of World Wide Web, WWW, how it works. I did not know what are servers, what is cloud. I did not know back then. And started my internship, got a lot of interest in tech, started developing. I even got a pre-placement offer from my college, and I got placed in 2018. And in 2018, when I got the real world access to these servers, to end customer problems, I got to know that there is a bridge between the development and the operations team. And from there the word comes DevOps, development operations. So I got very fascinated that hey, I'm writing a code and it is reaching to a lot of customers, and everything in between has a process. And that's why I got interested in DevOps. And now 2025, it's I think more than 8 years been in this industry, so very interesting times.
And still going strong.
Yeah.
So, as much as you talked about its development plus operations, if you had
Yeah.
to explain it to an absolute layman in plain English, what is
Yeah.
DevOps and why is it such a big deal for businesses now? How would you
Yeah.
shed some light on
So imagine we use these applications, a lot of applications. So let's say we are streaming a cricket match,
that?
let's say
Okay.
IPL,
All
or
right.
maybe World Cup. So we are streaming it on Geo Cinemas or Hotstar, and
Yeah.
you must be seeing that under that Geo Cinemas logo there is a number written, that 25 million people watching or 2 crore people watching,
Live viewing
live
for,
watching.
yeah, live watching.
So imagine a person who is writing the code. He would never have thought that hey, these many people would use their platform.
All right.
So a developer is someone who builds that platform,
Okay.
builds that application. And a DevOps engineer is someone who makes sure that application is reaching to hundreds and millions and thousands of customers all over the globe. So DevOps is a practice, it's a culture of automation, of scalability. So that whatever small you have written or whatever application you have developed, it is reaching millions and millions of people without any, interruption. So that's how
I
it
love
works.
the way you framed it. It's a culture of automation and
Yeah.
scalability. I think it's a very fascinating way to put it. You've turned
Yeah,
DevOps into
absolutely.
an art. So, since we
Yeah,
are in 2025, what trends and tools do you think are going to rule across the year? Any tools and
absolutely.
technologies?
So, recent events in US, you must have seen Donald Trump being elected as a
Yes,
president, and you
he's
can
back.
see yeah, he's back and he's doing a lot of actionable items, and he launched this Stargate,
Right.
where he has invested $500 billion in AI and its use cases. Now, that much money, infrastructure, resources being put in AI, artificial intelligence, so end user has to get the access to it. So if you remember in 2022, when ChatGPT was very new, it
Yes.
used to get this error that server capacity reached, you can't ask more. Now we don't get those errors. Why? Because the DevOps and cloud engineers are making sure that end customer is getting the application and it is scaling to millions. Now imagine AI getting so much investments, how bigger the impact DevOps engineers can make. Every phone will have that application, every smartwatch will be AI enabled, and DevOps engineers will be the ones who will make sure that everything is automated, everything is scaled, and it is reaching to countless people. So a lot of exciting opportunities for cloud and DevOps. Even more examples, AWS, which is one of the biggest cloud service providers in the world. Now AWS has invested $12 billion in India yesterday. It's a very, very latest news that I am telling. So yesterday it has invested $12 billion, and it will create 81,000 more jobs
Which is
by
brilliant.
2028. Yeah, by 2028. So all jobs will be in cloud infrastructure. So a lot of exciting times are coming for the DevOps and cloud people.
Wow, that sounds very promising. Building on that, there is this talk about how do hybrid and multi-cloud strategies fit into DevOps and how is it
Yeah.
helping businesses? Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah. So hybrid and multi-cloud, so they are basically two things. When I say hybrid, it means, so you first have to understand what is public cloud and what is private cloud and what is on-premise. So think of it that you have your laptop
Yeah.
where you are running an application, you have your hard disk where you are storing those files and everything. Now this is your hardware, you are using it on your premise in your room. When we rent it from AWS or from Azure, we are renting it from a public cloud. Now,
Okay.
when we have hybrid solutions, we have some part of some database or something kept inside our servers, which is our in-house team on premise, and some part of it is on cloud. And that is how hybrid is working. So banks, stock market, all these institutions are basically on premise or hybrid. So
Okay.
that's the hybrid side. When I say multi-cloud means you're using some services of AWS, some services of Azure, maybe some services of GCP, or some services from Utho, and different cloud service providers. So that's how it works. And many industries use that.
Okay. That's very insightful. And another one building on that is automation seems to be the heart of DevOps. Can you
Absolutely.
simplify for our viewers how does it help teams and businesses to work faster and in a slightly more easier way?
Yeah. So I remember in 2019, uh, I had been assigned a task of taking a backup of a server.
Okay.
So, what I used to do whenever I used to end my day towards 8 p.m. or so, I used to run a command and I used to take a backup of the server, and I used to just mail that, hey, server backup done. So every day I used to do that.
An
So,
ordeal,
which
it
was
used to
very,
be a rite of passage for you.
yeah, and I was doing that because I was assigned
Yeah.
that task. So, what I did, I wrote a Python script where that Python script will log into a server, take that backup, and create an email and send it to my manager. So that Python script, it took me an hour or two to write that Python script. And 2019 and it's 2025. That script is still running and it's automating the backups of that particular client. Even I'm not in the company anymore. I have left the company, but that script is still there. So that's automation. And
I think
now,
you found a
with-
smarter way to do things.
yeah, so this is just a very small example of automating your day-to-day task.
Yeah.
You can even think of bigger picture, which is automating the entire infrastructure. Maybe you have to create a server, you have to create a database to store your data. Now you're manually creating it, maybe you'll make a mistake. If you automate that using code, there are zero chances of human error, zero human intervention, and you have basically saved a lot of time.
That
So
sounds pretty
automation is the
impressive.
heart of, yeah, so a
Very
lot of
impressive and
automation tools.
lofty too, though. You have to
Yeah,
have a vision for that. But Shubham,
absolutely.
is this only for the tech giants to leverage DevOps, or do you think somebody with a small business or a relatively new startup can also leverage DevOps?
Absolutely. So I remember being, so my journey has been not with any MNCs or big companies. My first company where I started was of three people, me, myself, and my CTO,
And
who
your
was the
vision.
co-founder. Yeah, and a graphic designer. So
Okay.
we were also practicing DevOps. Then I switched to a company which had 16 people doing DevOps. I even know people from AWS, Google, they have these DevOps practices. So, irrespective of what is the company size, what they are building, DevOps is something that, as I said, it's a culture of automation and scaling. If you want to automate your repetitive task, if you want to reach to millions of customers, you will need that.
So that's your success story. But having said that, in these 8 years, have you come across some other success stories? How DevOps completely transformed a business?
Absolutely. So I remember a business of so it was a case study of Hotstar only.
Okay,
So Hotstar, if you remember, there was this T20 cricket World Cup, and
absolutely.
everyone was watching the match. And that time there was a slight delay, saying that some streaming error or something, and many people were waiting that, hey, what happened next? Cricket is like a lifeline in India,
Yes,
so you
cricket is
can't
a
miss that.
religion in India.
Yeah, it's a religion. It's a
Yes,
religion. Very well said. And to play with such things on a cloud and infrastructure level, it's a nightmare. So what Hotstar did, Hotstar included cloud and DevOps practices. There's a talk
okay.
by Gaurav Kapoor, if I'm not wrong, Gaurav, who's
Famous
a CTO
VJ,
at,
yeah.
yeah. So he's a CTO at Hotstar, and he explained what they did to make sure the next matches and everything coming in Hotstar, it's streamed properly. So they improved the infrastructure, they added DevOps practices, they added a lot of servers, a lot of scaling, and that allowed them to still be the one of the top leaders. Now Geo has taken over, but still they are well known for what they have done in tech. So that's a
Absolutely.
yeah, that's one of the very promising story of DevOps. And there are many startups. So if you remember these Zepto and
Oh, yeah.
Blinkit, so the founders are very young. The founders are and they are making sure that 10-minute delivery is happening. How? So they have all these processes. They have warehouses, dark kitchens that will make sure in 10 minutes you will get your delivery. Even that is a culture of automation, a culture of scaling. So every way you think about that, you'll find DevOps and operation practices
It
there.
seems like DevOps has percolated in every area of our life.
Absolutely. If you think about it, it's a very interesting field.
But I'm sure there must be some challenges that businesses face when they adopt DevOps as a part of their strategy. So, to them, can you tell how you can share some practices to tackle those challenges?
One of the biggest challenge is fear of having to shift their existing processes. So initially, as I mentioned, my boss asked me to send an email every day. He might have simply asked me to create a bot that could just ping or just say, if in case the backup was not done, then only email me the other way. So
Yeah.
the mindset and the, what do you say, the, yeah, absolutely, the mindset has to be changed for DevOps is not just way of having some cool tools and automation. It's a mindset, it's a culture that you have to adopt. So company wide thing has to be changed. So if a
First of
company,
all, you're saying more than the technological challenges, it's the mindset rigidity that needs to be
absolutely,
broken. Like openness to
absolutely,
adopt and adapt.
absolutely. So think of it, why people are still using some on-premise servers. They have their server room there. So the mindset is, what if our data gets leaked by public cloud? What if the public cloud is off the grid? What if someone says, what if the electricity goes off in public cloud? uh,
Yes.
so, but there are highly reliable systems, there are highly available system. All these are principles of DevOps and SRE, which is site reliability engineering. So we have things in place, just that we have to take that leap of faith. We have to take that mindset shift. So yeah, it's more of a mindset shift.
That first step.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then, digging deep into it, when I talk specifically about industries like healthcare, finance,
Hmm.
and software development, secure deployments are critical, of course, due to sensitive data and higher stakes. And CI/CD pipelines are recognized for their security. So, do you
Yeah.
think they're as reliable as claimed? And how does DevOps utilize these for secure deployments?
So if you see the logo of DevOps, it's an infinity symbol. And
Okay.
that infinity stands for code, build, test, deploy. So a developer writes a code, he builds that code so that it runs on every machine, then it is tested, and then only it is deployed. And it's an infinity. If one of the thing is broken, it won't be tested or it won't be deployed. So anyways, if you just follow a pipeline of a CI/CD, nowadays we have DevSecOps, which is DevOps with security. So that code, build, test, deploy gets a security check in between. If anything doesn't go well in that pipeline, the end stage, which is deploy, which is reaching to the production, that doesn't happen, which ensures whatever your customers are getting, it's safe, it's secure, it's the well tested product. So
You're
that's why
saying
the,
it's fail proof,
absolutely. So, and it
robust.
also depends on the way DevOps engineers have built that pipeline. If have they used the best practices? Have they used the best tools? Have you they used the best security measures? So all these things are taken into consideration. Yeah,
Okay, that sounds pretty promising and reassuring for anybody who had qualms about its reliability. Now, Shubham, since
absolutely.
you are here, I'm sure people have asked this to you dime a dozen, but let's address the elephant in the room. Is AI going to replace DevOps jobs?
No, no, no. So I'm very, very positive about that thought that AI is here to help us do better at what we do. So think of a person who works 8 hours a day. In those 8 hours, maybe if I'm working from, I work remotely, but when I was working from office, I used to go to the office, I used to log in, I used to check my emails, check the tasks, and then go to the water cooler, have a chat with my buddies, then go to the chai pe charcha, tea time,
Of course.
and all these things. Now, from those 8 hours, I used to be productive for maybe 4 hours or maybe 6 hours. And in that 6 hours, I used to research a lot, read a lot, then implement. Now, what AI has done, AI, a simple prompt can help you get your task done in whatever what used to take hours, now it's taking minutes. So AI is here to assist you. And now, when those things are working faster, you get more and more work. So the way I look at it is, when you increase the supply of your input, which is you and AI, the demand will also increase. So you will be getting more work. Now, as I said, Donald Trump gave $500 billion for AI
Yes.
investment, which simply means you'll get a lot of new work to be done. So AI is not here to take your job. AI is here to give more and more jobs, provided you get upskilled in AI. You know how to write prompts, you know how to adapt with AI. In DevOps, there is a new field coming up. It's old, but it's new in India, called ML Ops, machine learning operations. So more jobs coming in that side as well. So AI is not going to take your job, it's going to make you more productive at your job, provided you make the best of
So
AI.
you're
You don't
saying
have to
let's
get
not be
scared of.
too scared of DevOps. Let's treat it as
Hmm.
like an efficient ally who's going to enhance, what DevOps does.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So any
Yeah.
advice for the newcomers watching? Any,
Yeah.
piece of actionable piece of advice, of course.
So many newcomers who watch my videos or they apply for these roles, first thought is, uh, will I get charged? Because AWS Cloud or all these cloud service providers, they accept debit cards, credit card, and so on. First is fear. Second is, will AI take my job? Third is, cloud and DevOps, it sounds very, very production thing. As a fresher, will I get job in a such production? Third fear. So freshers have a lot of fear, which they don't need. So sometimes we bring those demons in our head only. Actual fear, there is nothing like that. So if there's a dark room, we get afraid that, hey, what's standing there or something. In reality, there's nothing like that. So even if you're a fresher, you will be getting a test environment to work. Even if you want to go to AWS, you will be getting free tier for 1 year. You will be getting free credits. So don't be afraid. Even if you're afraid of AI is creating a lot of jobs. So don't be afraid of going into a new technology. Go inside it, test the grounds, and you'll see the reality. And
So
there's a
let's
lot
not
of
make a villain out of AI. There's still a lot of scope,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of scope, and every day there is some new, interesting things coming up that ensure that AI is here to stay, and we'll have to adapt to it. So if we get, afraid of it, then you'll stay behind.
All right. So let's just make an effort to stay ahead of the learning curve and be more
Absolutely,
adaptive, open, and receptive. Great. This
absolutely,
all sounds
absolutely.
so promising, the way you put it across. So, finally, let's peer into the crystal ball of future. In 5 to 10 years down the line, where do you see DevOps go and develop?
Oh, 5 years, I see DevOps going very, very it's a very good trajectory. As I said, AI is growing. So as AI is growing, we need more cloud servers, we need more automations, we need more, as DevOps, as an DevOps engineer, my aim is to reduce the time to market. So if someone is developing an application and there's an end user waiting for it, there should be very less time to market. If you remember, our phone apps, we used to go to Play Store and we used to click that update button. And that app used to get updated. We used to wait
Yes.
for that. And that was 2 years back. Now we don't have to do that. It's auto updated. How? Because the time to market has reduced. Cloud and DevOps engineers. That's their role. Now, similarly, AI tools, as the speed where AI is growing, we will be, so that so just like we used to do, Alexa set an alarm for 6 p.m. Now we will be at that stage that you will be saying that, hey, book a cab for me, or maybe clear all the emails from 12th of January
Like
to
voice
this
prompts.
voice prompts, and all these would need faster access, and that's where DevOps and cloud engineers will play a role. So as AI is growing, DevOps and cloud jobs are also growing. But I
Okay.
can't say about 10 years, because in 10 years maybe the processes and automations will be the same, the name will be different. So DevOps is a term which was coined in 2009. Before that, DevOps was happening, but it was under the name build and release engineer.
Okay.
So then it switched to DevOps. Now, somewhere in some teams, they're interchangeably using it as DevOps and SRE, site reliability engineering. Some teams they have used this term called platform engineering. So maybe after 10 years, there will be a new term, but the processes, the mindset, the culture, that would be same.
Okay, that sounds very promising. And
Yeah.
as we wrap up, I want to thank you again. You've been such a delight to speak to. And I think also you have this amazing ability, which is rare among a lot of techies, to bring down these complex, complicated concepts for the layman to understand,
Yeah,
to
I try my best.
comprehend. Yes, so
Thank you.
I
Thank you
think
so
it's
much.
been very, very delightful and helpful. I'm sure people watching would gain a lot out of it. There's been a huge value proposition in the, things that you've shared and talked about. Thank you so much. Till we meet again. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward for the next podcast conversation.
Yes. Thank you so much, Shubham.
Thank you. Thank you